Good morning and good afternoon, scholars. Welcome back to Mr. Snifton's geometry class. Today we are finishing up with our last class of our summer geometry course, and we're finishing up talking about our inverse trigonometry function. Remember from yesterday, trigonometry is essentially the study of the combinations of sides and angles of triangles and how we can basically simplify that into a ratio, sine, cosine, and tangent, and solve for our missing portions of our figure. Today we're going to be doing something similar to that, but it's called inverse trigonometry. Instead of solving for a missing side, we're going to take those side ratios and find one of our missing angles. So let's take a look. When we're describing inverse trigonometry, what we're talking about is using a method or a ratio, that fractional statement, to essentially find a missing angle. The way that you might be familiar with this concept on your calculator, it's that when you hit that second button sine, second button cos tan, and you get that -1, what that allows us basically to do is take that opposite over adjacent type of system that we used for, say, tangent, or our cosine version of adjacent over hypotenuse, or our opposite over hypotenuse for sine, and basically turn that just reflexively into an angle. To do inverse trigonometry, all that we're going to need basically, at least in terms of our class for practice today, is we're working with only right triangles. And with our right triangle, we're going to have an unknown angle we're solving for. We're also going to have to know at least two sides of our figure. In today's example here, we're going to have our reference angle on the top left. We're going to have a bottom value of 10 and a side value of 20. When we're working with our inverse system, one of the things that we're going to have to do is figure out whether or not we're using sine, cosine, or tangent, or what many of you or some of you have heard, or at least how I learned it in high school, was SOHCAHTOA, sine opposite over hypotenuse, cosine adjacent over hypotenuse, tangent opposite over adjacent. That's how I always remembered it. It was just SOHCAHTOA. So we're going to have to look for an angle. We need to know two sides, and then we have to decide whether or not we're using sine, cosine, or tangent. In this particular example, if we draw out from a reference angle, and let's just label our triangle ABC. We have coming along here, number 10 is going to be what's called our opposite side, and we're going to have next to our theta our adjacent. And the reason why we know this adjacent is not our hypotenuse is that opposite of our 90-degree angle, side AC, is going to be our known hypotenuse. All right, so now that we know we have an opposite over adjacent, we need to now figure out which ratio methodology are we going to use. Are we going to use sine, cosine, or tangent? If we use our little shortcut here, which is what I always try to write on my top of my paper when I get to these types of questions, is with opposite and adjacent, we're going to go with tangent. So if we're going to set up this particular equation, the way that we're going to format everything out is we're going to say tangent theta is equal to our opposite of 10 over our adjacent of 20. All right, so our next step here is we are going to go ahead and basically do, instead of cross multiplying in this example, what we're going to do is 10 divided by 20, which is 0.5. So we're going to say tan our unknown angle, or this ratio of our unknown angle, of our opposite over adjacent is equal to 0.5. The next thing that we're going to do is on our calculators directly, we're going to go into our calculator application, and we're going to say 0.5, and we're going to hit the second button and bring up our options, that -1, and hit -1 tan, or inverse tangent function, and we get this degree measure. This right here is our answer. This particular angle A, is going to be equivalent to, say, 26.6. and go with 26.6 degrees. So now within our figure, we've essentially solved for this missing angle up here, which we can rewrite again if we want. We can even call it, in our super formatted way, the measure of angle BAC is equal to 26.6. Now we have a couple things that we want to do if we're going to go ahead and solve for angle C. We have two methods that we can use in this particular example. Since we have a whole triangle, since we know that concept of the triangle sum theorem, where all of our angles add up to 180 degrees, we can go ahead and say, 180 minus 90 minus 20.6 gives us that remainder, essentially. That'll be basically our missing angle A, which, just so you know, is equivalent to, say, 63.4 for this particular angle. But if we wanted to, say, practice again and use this method of our inverse, we can set up another equation, essentially. So let's take a look here. If we wanted to solve for angle BCA, or what we can call vertex C, let's just do another theta in the bottom there again. If we wanted to go ahead and set up this idea of our adjacent, hypotenuse, and opposite, we're going to have to relabel our points. If we go from vertex C and draw out, we're going to have our opposite of 20 and our adjacent of 10. And once again, we know AC is a hypotenuse because it's opposite our largest angle, which is our 90-degree angle. And now we just need to follow our steps again. Are we going to use sine, cosine, or tangent? Since we have a adjacent and an opposite, we're going to go with tangent again, but we're going to end up flipping our values. So if we say tan theta is equal to, in this case, we're talking about an opposite of 20 over 10. You can kind of see how these two numbers relate. We're basically going to find the other value that allows us to add up to a total of 90, which is the cool thing about these ratios. So if we do 20 divided by 10, we get 2. So we're going to say tan theta is equal to 2. If we go into our calculator, we have our inverse tan up here on the screen, where I'm just going to hit tan 2 here, and we get 63.4. We take a look at these two numbers right here. 26.6 plus 63.4 gives us a total of 90. Allows us to have our 90 here, our 90, and our total of 180 for our missing angles. When dealing with this notion of inverse trigonometry, we're using that sine, cosine, tangent ratio system to basically work on the left side of the equation. We put in our opposite, we put in our adjacent, we put in our hypotenuse, we find out what that fraction is, we punch that fraction into our calculator and use that inverse button to basically generate our missing angle. For today on Delta Math, you're going to be practicing just this portion here in a similar fashion to yesterday. So if you're running into some problems with the content, please make sure to drop by office hours today at 11:30 and 12:30. I'll be more than happy to help you out. Also on the YouTube channel, there's a big, huge, long video as well for trigonometry and inverse trigonometry too, with a bunch of examples. Since today is our last day in our class, I just want to say thank you. As you would expect, I appreciate all your comments, things like that, and you guys coming in during the summertime and doing this additional work. I hope I've taught you something new, particularly in this notion of like seeing math in a different light. What you're going to be tested on Thursday, though, is some of the questions that we've gone over. It's not too much in terms of this philosophical manner because I didn't give you really text to read. I don't think that's necessarily too fair. Most of your questions are going to be associated with, like, for instance, doing one inverse tan question, doing one um, inverse trigonometry, one normal trigonometry question. There's a question on the triangle sum theorem, like adding your angles to 180, or that exterior angle theorem that you practiced as well. So think about kind of the different delta math questions that you've had. There's going to be about one question from each of those days added to your exam. So all you'll have to do is basically, when you take this test on Thursday, have your notes open, see a question, refer back to your notes, or if you haven't taken very good notes, you can go through the videos we've done as well too, and basically, you know, go through and grind your way through the test. Like I said before, if you have questions, please feel free to drop by office hours. We can go over old stuff as well too, today's stuff, whatever you'd like to talk about. Always feel free to text or email me, even if we're not in summer classes as well too. So yeah, thank you. If you have any questions, please drop by. Be more than happy to help you out. Until next time, stay safe and be smart. All right, bye.